well, welcome back to another video. This is the semi and grand final stages of my Bookish Asian Cup, and we have whittled 8 books down to 4. Strangely, the 4 shortest. I didn't really realise that, but yeah. I mean, I am a short book person, but anyway, they have been separated, and we are now going to go through the 2 quarterfinal matches, the 3rd place match. I'll do a little tournament to see which is the worst book of the competition before ending on the final. So yeah, make sure to have checked out the previous quarterfinal matches of all the books where I go into more depth about what they were about and things. But let's get straight to it with the first semi-final match up of South Korea with Lemon by Kwon Yeon-sun, translated from Korean by Janet Hong, and Miss Ice Sandwich by Mieko Kawakami, translated from Japanese by Louise Hill Kawai. I enjoyed both of them. I think this is a good matchup because they are both slim, slight, sparse novellas in a sense, and they are quite hard to what's the word, separate. Gosh, but we were able to separate them, and South Korea scored goals for characters, writing and enjoyment, and Japan scored goals for characters as well. They both did. Plot, impact, and I gave it an adjustment penalty because it would have ended on 3-3, but in my view the Japan entry is my preferred one, so they are going through to the grand final, and we'll see Lemon in the 3rd place matchup, so congratulations. Then the second semi-final was between China and Australia. The Chinese entry, Where Reasons End by Yi Yun Lee, and the North Korean, did I say North Korea? I think so. North Korean entry, The Red Years for Beard and Poetry from Inside North Korea by Bandy, translated from Korean by, I always forget, Heinz Ilzul Frenkel. It is quite difficult to separate like this, like a novelty kind of work against poetry, but this is how I've done it. And they are both quite raw auto fiction, well, this is auto fiction, this is poetry, works that are very like personal and real. But this ended up with North Korea scoring goals for writing and impact, and China scoring goals for characters, plot, writing as well, enjoyment and impact as well. I think they both had very, very good concise-ish writing, and both impacted me quite a lot. So it does end 5-2 to China, and they will be going to the grand final, with North Korea going to the 3rd place matchup against their peninsula namesake. So yeah, now we will do the 3rd place matchup, which I was just holding up. South Korea versus North Korea, North versus South. Let's see how it gets along. And this ends up with South Korea getting goals for character and plot, but North Korea getting goals for writing, enjoyment and impact. Yeah, both very, very decent books, but I did really like the rawness and like honesty in this, like the importance of like the human spirit that is so prevalent within these poems, and I think they have done so well. So congratulations for getting 3rd place, the bronze medal, and yeah, that was that matchup. Then we will do the worst book of the competition to see who goes through. The first matchup would have been if they had won their respective matches. For the Philippines, it was A Sacrifice by Rin Chupeko, and We Computers for Uzbekistan by Hamid Ismailov, translated from Uzbek by Shelly Fairweather Vega. Despite this being unfinished and a soft DNF on pause for now, which I did speak about in the video. I'm very sorry because I didn't really give you a fair shot, but I am giving it to The Sacrifice. Will win this because I think this is definitely a better book than The Sacrifice is. So you'll be going through to see who you're up against in the worst book of the competition. And then the other matchup is between Loaded with Australia's entry by Christos Solikas and the Taiwanese entry Notes of a Crocodile by Chiu Miao Jin, translated from Chinese by Bonnie Hu. And the winner for this is Australia with Loaded. I definitely think this has a lot of merits. It's just quite confusing. But equally, this has so many good parts and very important parts, but it is just sort of overshadowed by the intense amount of drug taking and alcohol and sexual nature of the book that I personally just did not like at all. So that's where it goes. And then the winner of the worst book of the competition is The Sacrifice from the Philippines, which is sad to say because I love the Philippines. But well, I love Australia as well. I think the Matildas were an amazing team. I really enjoy watching them, and quite a few, a lot of them playing the WSL. Like honestly, I was just saying the grand final, Japan and Australia. Like I think they said like 18 or something of the 22 starters played in the WSL. Wow. Like, I mean, it's the best league in the world for a reason. Clearly, the two final countries had most of them there. But anyway, yeah, the Philippines does win the worst book of the competition. And now, before I announce the grand final winner of my Bookish Asian Cup, that was so loud, sorry. I'll just put in all the clips from the semi-finals and the grand final to see how it went along on the trophy celebration before I do my own trophy celebration. So I'll just put them in now. Semi-finals to progress the ball on a little bit further. Finalist Australia on home soil. Australia through. Let's hope they meet Japan. Come on, Japan. But I do love Korea as well, but come on, Japan, please. Corner, landing right on the goal line and bouncing all the way through. I think they're through. They're through. Yes. Winner, well, finalist. Let's go. A meeting with Australia. Who will be at the World Cup? I'm hoping for Philippines. I like the Philippines. But Uzbekistan is done well, so let's see. Great. Yay! The second ever time. Good on you, Philippines. Now, North Korea and Taiwan, who will qualify? I don't know. I think it's probably North Korea, but we shall see. I think it's settled. North Korea in the World Cup. The grand final. Japan winners, my favourite. Oh yeah, I'm so happy. I am sad for Australia because it was at home. I do love them as well, but Japan's my favourite. I love them. Yay! Champions of the AFC Women's Asian Cup Australia 2026. Congratulations to Japan. Yeah, my dream final was Australia and Japan. I didn't know how it was gonna like come through that. I think it's because with South Korea beating Australia in their game or drawing or something, it meant they topped the group instead of Australia, because then they would have been in the same bracket, but they separated the brackets, and it meant Kate was able to play in the final, which I felt was so good. It was in Australia. Maybe some part of me was rooting for them because home country and everything, but I just really love the Japan women's national team and how they play, and a lot of stars. Like I said, they're in the WSL and quite a few play for my club, Man City Women. Yui Hasegawa, incredible. Alba Fagino. Yeah, there was more, I think. I can't remember, but a lot of them play. I really just love the way Japan play, and Australia definitely held their own. I think they were really, really great in the competition. But yeah, now let's see the actual final of my Bookish Asian Cup, and the finalists are China, Where Reasons End by Yu Yun Lee, and Japan, Miss Eye Sandwich by Miyako Kawakami. This was a little bit hard to separate, but I do have a clear favourite, and the way the goals was scored were Japan scoring for plot and enjoyment, and China scoring for characters, writing, and also for enjoyment and for impact. So it does end 4-2 to China. I think this is a really, really poignant, pivotal book, and one I would so recommend. But yeah, this is very like slim and sparse and like nice in some sense, but it felt a little bit disconnected. This was a little confusing as well, but sorry, my dog was barking, I think. But I did really enjoy this book, and had a lot of impact on me, and the way it talks about language and using it for the narrator to try and communicate with her young son that died by suicide. It felt so real and like raw, and debating of language and like the using that to communicate, because she cannot communicate with him anymore in person. Also like the limitations of language as well, which I think he's just done so well, and I would like to give it a reread and sort of like underline a few thoughts, because there is so much to sort of get from this book. But yeah, a very worthy winner of the Bookish Asian Cup 2026, China. Congratulations. And I will be doing my Bookish World Cup next year. I'm so excited. I just hope England get through, because like we didn't top our group in the qualifiers, so we go through the playoffs, but we're up against Spain, of course we were. But let's see, and lots of these countries are also coming. We've got China there, we've got Japan there, obviously, we've got North Korea there already, secured their place. We've got South Korea there, we've got the Philippines there, which I'm so happy about, our second World Cup in a row, congratulations, and Australia. So it's turned out to be a very good video, hopefully coming like series next year, and then also Uzbekistan and Taiwan will go into the international playoffs to see who gets the final spots after all the confederations have seen who their automatic countries going to the World Cup are. So yeah, Brazil 2027, cannot wait. It's just going to be so exciting. I just think this World Cup next year in Brazil is going to be amazing, and like I'm so excited. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this series of my Bookish Asian Cup. Stay tuned on the channel for more videos to come, and obviously next year with my Bookish World Cup 2027. Yeah, have a nice one, even though you're around the world, and I shall be seeing you very soon. Bye.